Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is October 21st, and right now we are looking at the Doppler radar, the Langley Doppler radar here on the Washington coastline. You can see the spin in the atmosphere and some showers going on. There were a couple lightning strikes out here this morning, and if you look very closely here at the velocity scan, you can kind of see the little rotation with some of these cells here. Would not be surprised to see a funnel cloud report out there somewhere here across western Washington, maybe on the Oregon coast, and maybe across some of the interior areas, as there is a thunderstorm potential here with this unstable air, some decent turning in the atmosphere for a little bit of added shear as well. So heads up for that, eyes on the sky today. And I do want to show this. Let's go ahead and put this into motion. And this is what I got yesterday morning during the sunrise hours. Pretty spectacular show, Mount Rainier. And you can see there is some lenticular cloud activity associated with this. There's the rotor cloud area here in the wake of Mount Rainier. Of course, you get the westerly flow and you get that rotor downwind to the mountains here. And then as I scroll ahead here, I'm going to fast forward and show you kind of the colors there during the sunrise. So a pretty spectacular show. Very pleased with this time lapse I got yesterday. So let's go back to the forecast here and take a look at things. You can see that we are dealing with that upper level low right here across Pacific Northwest. That's a thunderstorm potential today. Precipitation ongoing, places east right now. And then we're going to be dropping off some cold air out across Pacific Ocean here. And the westerlies are going to pick that up if it gets a little bit of subtropical moisture tapped with it and try to bring a system back across the region, and potential multiple frontal systems going on as we go on into this upcoming weekend as well. We'll take a look at that in some detail as we go through the video here this morning. This is the Doppler radar combination here, and you can see that precipitation occurring for some portions east of the mountains as well. You can see the clearing behind that frontal system, and you can see our upper level low right there with that thunderstorm threat as we go through the day today. And I am now on Blue Sky. I am still on X. I'm going to keep that account there for now, but I am doing all my updates on Blue Sky. There's a lot of other Pacific Northwest weather enthusiasts over there. You can see Joseph Reynolds, Jonathan Pulley. Give them a follow and go ahead and find me on Blue Sky there. Also, I am Seattle Weather Guy. You can see at Seattle Weather Guy. And yeah, so good. Join Blue Sky and check me out over there. That's where the updates will be from here on out. You can see that 37-mile-per-hour gust I reported there yesterday on my weather station. Now, take a look at SeaTac yesterday, 66 degrees, 7 degrees above average. Not a bad day out there, fairly warm, but it was pretty blustery. We did have a few showers moving through the area. And we average, almost 4 inches for the month of October. We're up over an inch so far, but we do have more coming, as I'll show you here in a moment. And looking at the peak gusts yesterday, we did have some nice wind gusts. I think there were some 60-mile-per-hour gusts somewhere up here towards Port Townsend, but you can see Whidbey Island up towards Everett here, some gusts well up over 40 miles per hour for some of the region. I think SeaTac topped out right around 38 miles per hour, and I'm not far from SeaTac. I hit 37. This is the Tempest weather station I have on the roof. It's not the best wind run here, but you see we did get that 29-mile-per-hour gust here, picked up the winds quite nicely. If I close that out, you can see all the data that stores for you in the cloud. You can click on any one of these parameters and it graphs it for you. Tells you when it starts raining, lightning detection system, and I'm hoping that goes off today with one of these thunderstorms running across the region. So if you want one of these, click on that link down below to save 10%. Now, looking at the high resolution rapid refresh, again, we're looking at today here, and you can see there is thunderstorm potential all the way down towards the Portland Metro, some of the Willamette Valley, Washington coast, and then eventually moving in across some of the central Puget Sound. You can see this one showing up at about 5 and 6 o'clock here, right across some of the SeaTac area, going up across 405 and I-90, and off towards the foothills of Washington and down towards Oregon there. And then we put an end to that lightning threat as we move on in through tomorrow. And here's the composite reflectivity, what the Doppler radar may look like over the next 48 hours. You see that precipitation across the eastern portions, and you see that upper level low with that thunderstorm potential as we roll on in through today. Probably a couple rounds of showers across much of the area. Watch out for some of that lightning potential and some of that heavy rain. A little bit of gusty wind action with that as well. So taking a look at the artificial intelligence European model, 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. There goes our upper level low. And you can see this get stretched down. It drops off this cold air back across Pacific Ocean, but then the westerlies grab it and want to bring that after it taps a little bit of subtropical air back into the Pacific Northwest. We could have a couple rounds of wind. Initially, it looks like Saturday morning probably, and then you can see the Gulf of Alaska troughing just raging here as we go on in through the weekend, and another shot of of wind and a frontal system as we go through the day Sunday coming up here. So definitely more active weather on the way for the Pacific Northwest. If we take a look at the European artificial intelligence, this is what's going on this morning. It's the frontal system moving on through upper level low right there. Continue some precipitation as we go through Wednesday here. You can see that moving across Oregon as we go through Wednesday night, Idaho, Montana, Yellowstone. But then our low pressure system merges back with the westerlies here and brings a fairly blustery system up the Oregon coast, Washington coast, decent frontal passage there, some breezy winds potential. And then you can see this low pressure system. It is weakening, but it's still got a pretty good pressure gradient as we go on in through Saturday night and on in through Sunday morning. Another strong frontal system moving across the area shown there. So looking at Whidbey Island, this is that system coming in here as we go through Friday night, Saturday morning. You can see some pretty good gusts up over 50 showing in the ensembles. The control right now is at 44, so we still have a lot of figuring out to do with the system. This is Hoquiam on the Washington coast, 32 on the control. Some of these ensembles do hint at the stronger winds still, and this is Seattle-Tacoma. Again, there are a few ensemble members with 50 plus. Right now the control is at 35, so we still have to figure out what exactly is going to happen with the system, but we have time to do that. You can see this is not until Friday night and on in through the day Saturday. This is Portland, just kind of blustery conditions here. We're not looking at any kind of big windstorm, and this is not a big region-wide windstorm. I should drive home that point as well. This is Tillamook, Oregon coast, so you can see these winds are not too bad. The control runs in 41 miles per hour. And Cooley, northwest Washington coast, you can see a little higher wind speed showing up in the ensembles there. So along with the winds and these frontal systems, we have this increase in some wave action as we go through the day today. And we get a little bit of a break here, but then look at that system developing out over the Pacific Ocean. This is going to throw some waves our way, and you can see BC, Haida Gwaii, all the way down south through the Oregon coast. Pretty good wave action here. Then another strong frontal system really bumping those waves up as we go through Sunday and on in through Monday as well, all the way up and down the west coast of North America. Fall is definitely here, as you can see some additional wave action through the extended forecast out there for the Pacific Northwest also. So looking at total precipitation in inches, I just want to scroll through here and just kind of show you that we do have multiple systems showing up. Look at this, Seattle up over 1.5 inches by the time we get on in towards the early portion of next week. Nice amounts for western Oregon here also, and we'll see how this trends. But you can see, it looks like we're in for a fairly rainy period as we go towards the end of the month and into the early portion of November. So let me back this all the way up here, and you can see the atmospheric river that did move through and just absolutely hammered British Columbia and southwest BC. Kind of an early season atmospheric river at that, so the ground is going to be saturated for a while. Hopefully we don't follow that up with too much precipitation here over the next few weeks before the next one no doubt arrives at some point here, because then once you have these excessively wet conditions, and if you ran another atmospheric river like what we just got, the flooding would be catastrophic here for Vancouver Island, southwest BC, and some of the areas in northwest Washington, Olympic Mountains and Cascades also got huge amounts also. So we scroll on in through the extended forecast, and there goes our system. It does have that subtropical tap, and it brings some of that moisture back up over the region, and then additional frontal systems after that. Here's the 6 to 10 day near normal here across some of the Pacific Northwest. 6 to 10 day precipitation above average. It starts to creep down towards California, but still that bullseye with us here as we have frontal systems rolling through the region here at this during the 6 to 10 day time frame. Here we go, 8 to 14 day. You take this with a grain of salt right now, but the Climate Prediction Center is showing some below average conditions emerging here for the West Coast. We'll be watching that, and stick with me here because this is still way off into thin ice, and take that with a grain of salt. 8 to 14 day, nice signal here from much of the West also. And for those of you who've been asking how to join and support the page, there should be this join button down below. I've just clicked on this random Dust Devil video of mine, and you can click that join button here. I think it shows up as a white button if you are doing it on your mobile device here. So yeah, go ahead and click that if you want to monetarily support the page. And yeah, what else? I guess we will just break this all down again tomorrow. I'm probably going to get my cameras out there and set them up just so I have things going in case I do get a thunderstorm tracking up across the area. I will have that documented. So anyway, what else? Hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.